Hi everybody, welcome back to Jason's Morning Mojo. So today, what I want to talk to you about is protecting your imagination. Now I know growing up, I had a fantastic imagination, right? I was one of those people that if a teacher was reading a story, I could absolutely visualize it. Or if I was reading a book, I would even catch myself kind of zoning off because I'm putting a picture in my brain of what that would be like or feel like, or that experience as a whole, right? Are you the same way? Man, I'm telling you, even as an adult, my imagination can really run wild. But one thing I want to talk to you guys about is protecting that, right? Do we always think the worst? I have friends and even family members who sometimes go to the worst area that they could when they like hear a siren and they think, man, that could be a family member or even a child of mine. They go to that worst area or the worst environment to think about, right? Your imagination is very precious and you must protect it. So I'll give you a great example of this. This lady, she's coming out of the grocery store. She has a couple of bags, right? So she puts them in the back of her car, closes it, gets inside the car, sits there for a few minutes, starts the vehicle. And the next thing you know, she hears a very loud explosion and something hits the back of her head. So she reaches back, touches it, and it feels like her brains are actually coming out of the back of her skull. So she's holding it in place thinking, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die here if I don't hold this in place. In fact, she comes into such a panic that she ends up passing out. Well, other patrons that were there visiting the grocery store saw this woman passed out in the front seat. So they call the police. Well, the police and firefighters come. They start knocking on the window. The lady finally comes to, and she looks at the officer and the fireman standing there and says, I can't move and I can't open my door. My brains are coming out of my head. Well, in a panic, they break the back window. They're trying to get in there to assist her as quickly as possible. Well, they end up doing that, unlock the front door, and then come to find out they see exactly what had gone wrong. So while the lady was sitting in her car, what had happened was she had purchased some Pillsbury biscuits. And while she was sitting there, the heat from outside was penetrating that grocery bag. It heated those biscuits up enough to where it exploded the package, and one of the biscuits hit her in the back of the head. And of course, as she felt it, it feels like internal organs or her brain just sitting outside of it. So she went to that worst place. So what I'm going to encourage all of you to do today is not do that. Protect your imagination, right? Imagination is fruitful. Think positively with your imagination. Imagine where you could go, what you could do, what you can accomplish, and stop imagining the worst of things. So thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you again real soon.